Hi, I'm coming on to share a video. This is the kind of video that I do all the time for the members in Patreon, and I thought I'd share this one with everybody because it's been a while since I've been sharing stuff here. The book groups, or the normal book groups have finished. We're currently in the book group with mine and Sarah's new book that we're writing, but because I'm not doing a weekly video for that, I thought, yeah, it's been a while since I've shared anything with you guys. So I thought I would do that and share, as I say, the kind of video that I'm doing all the time for the members in Patreon. So if this kind of video is useful to you, then do look at the description so that you can sign up and join us in there. But this topic that I'm sharing about today is something that was it's been such a part of my own journey with this exploration, and I see it with so many in who I work with, so many clients I work with, so many in this conversation. So I thought I'd share it with you as well and see what comes up for you. So the topic is around planning and preparation. And when we come into this exploration, we're often in a place where it looks like I need to plan or prepare in order to feel okay, in order to feel confident, in order to feel like I know what I'm doing, and then I can go ahead and do whatever it is that needs to be done. And so when we come into this conversation and we start recognising how behaviour is seemingly happening as a function of what we're thinking. So it looks like we start to see that feeling that I need to plan to feel okay is coming from a misunderstanding that I'm not already okay. We start to see that the thoughts aren't truths. We start to see times when we haven't planned and everything's gone okay, sometimes amazingly. And so we start to really question this role of planning. So this guy I was working with this week was saying how he could really see how he's habitually planned before in order to feel better. He saw it, how it has been like a soothing mechanism. Like because he's a project manager, he sees all the time that a plan gets created, but then the instant life connects with reality, the instant they get into the delivery of the project, it's all different. You know, some things might stay vaguely the same, but yeah, no plan survives first contact with life, or whatever that phrase is. So he saw how, irrespective of what the planning had been up front, in the reality of it, it didn't always happen the way it expected, the way it had been planned out. So then he's like, so it looks like planning is now a useful activity to soothe my mind. It looks like all it's really ever done is settle down a mind that's saying, oh, I don't know what's going to happen, quick, let's do a plan, and then I'll feel okay. So it's like, it's not a wrong thing to do, but it's really useful to see that actually the primary purpose of the planning or the preparation is trying to settle down a mind. It's trying to quieten a mind that wants to know, that wants to feel secure. So here you go, mind, here's a plan, here's some preparation, so you can just quiet down and look, now I feel okay again because my mind's quietened down. So he saw how that's what planning's been used for. But then what quite often happens is the mind then flips it and says, well, if I've just been using planning to settle myself down, and if that's not necessary, then I don't need to plan. I can just, like, if life is always just flowing, the minute I get into contact with it, life just happens however it's going to happen. If that's the case, then why bother planning at all? I can just go with the flow. I can just rock up to whatever this project is and just see what happens and go with the moment. And that's totally possible too. But you see how it's just like a flip of the mind that kind of goes, it's always black and white, the mind. It's always this or that. It's always, that either or. So it can't do anything other than say, oh, if planning has been a function of trying to settle me down, and if I don't need settling down, then we just need to not plan. Or if I see that that's been the role of planning and I'm okay and that's not true, then I don't need to plan anymore. I'll just go with the flow. And I really get it. I did a group session a couple of years ago, and I was totally in that space of, oh, it's fine, we'll just be in the flow, it'll just go where it needs to go. So I had thought about it in advance. I'd prepared some stuff to go on flip charts. I'd planned a broad overview of the session. But in the moment of the session, I was just like, oh, I'm trusting that everything's happening how it's meant to happen. I'm trusting that I'll be saying the things I'm meant to say and they're saying the things they're meant to say. But it wasn't real, it wasn't true, because it was like the mind had cottoned onto this idea of just go with the flow, it's all fine. And actually what happened was the session didn't run brilliantly. There were people asking questions which then took the conversation down a certain track, which wasn't actually beneficial to the whole group. But I was so much in that space of, yada yada, go with the flow. There were no words from me, therefore saying, okay, just hold that question, let's come back to that, because I was in this like dreamland of the mind's alternate story of, oh, it's fine, we'll just go with the flow. And so that led me on to a whole bunch of other questioning, but which ultimately has led to this place of recognising that no, we don't need to plan in order to feel better, because we are already okay. And the more you know that, the more that idea of using planning or preparation in order to feel okay just seems bonkers. Like, why would I do something out there in order to just be myself and feel myself? Like, I'm already here. Why would I need to do something in order to find me or feel who I am? That's just who I am. So the more we see that the okayness is here, it's not gained by doing an activity out there. It's felt just innately. It's what we are. It's what we are before any of the mind stories. The more that's known, the more planning is let go as a required activity in order to feel okay. Now, that doesn't mean that planning and preparation stops completely. All it means is it settles down into a more aligned, authentic, natural, intelligent way of being used. So it means that there's greyness. It means it's both and. It means that sometimes I'll plan and sometimes I won't. Sometimes I'll prepare and sometimes I won't. Depending on the thing I'm about to be doing, determines whether planning and preparation makes sense or not. It's not about the thing I'm doing. It's about that intelligence in the moment for this thing right now on this occasion. And it's not about I'll do the planning or preparation in order to feel okay. It's just, planning on preparation makes sense for this situation, for this occasion. And that can't come from the mind. That could, like I said before, the mind is so black and white, so this or that, so much in a land of give me a rule and then I'll follow it. It can't handle the possibility. It just has zero access to the possibility of this fluidity, of the greyness and the both and. It has zero access to the fullness and the holistic viewpoint of who we are. Only that holistic viewpoint of who we are has that responsive intelligence in the moment that says, do some planning for this, do some preparation for this. And the more that's known, the more that we see that who we are is fundamentally okay, the more we see that any ideas that I need to plan or prep in order to be okay is a confusion, then the more we settle back into ourselves and the more what comes out is just this intelligent responsiveness to what is needed for this situation right now. And that's what's really wanted. That space of both and, that freedom, that fluidity, that spontaneous response in the moment. And it's all available to every single human being. So I hope you've heard something useful in this, and I'd love to hear any questions or comments you've got about it. And as I said, if you're interested in joining as a member in Patreon, we'd love to see you there. So much love to you and take care.